homelessness in South Lanarkshire Council.
Homelessness is a large issue within South Lanarkshire Council. Here you can see facts in which we have found from South Lanarkshire Council and the Scottish Government websites, all of which is recent data.
South Lanarkshire Council's current leadership styles are servant and transformational. They're aiming to become more modern and drive for digital change to streamline their services. The Council's approach to homelessness is transformational as they're creating change in how homelessness is managed and prevented. They aim to redesign services by focusing on strengthening the early intervention pathways and modernising their houses to create long-term sustainable outcomes to align with the Council's local housing strategy plans. This aligns with the principles of transformational leadership as Mayberry 2024 suggests that leaders encourage each other to motivate towards a vision. Further to this, the Council demonstrates servant leadership throughout their practices as servant leaders prioritise the needs of others. The Council uses this approach as their services are designed to help people in need, reduce inequality and make sure resources and support is available to all. Both of these leadership styles allow the Council to provide a more supportive network and respond to the needs of the public better.
Servant leadership directly relates to homelessness in South Lanarkshire. Servant leadership requires a leader to put their followers before them. South Lanarkshire Council aims to put homelessness people before them by investing money into homelessness accommodation. Social Bite is a charity that are developing this village, and South Lanarkshire Council have invested £3 million into the homelessness accommodation. This is located in Rutherglen. It will include 15 houses with a kitchen, lounge, bedroom and bathroom, each in which with a communal gym and a community hub. This will be a temporary accommodation aimed to let people stay for 6 months and then go on to a permanent house. The village is aimed to give people a house, but it's also aimed to support people. There can be support problems with temporary housings, as it's said that people can be left unsupported and their mental health then deteriorates. The village aims to support people and help them out of homelessness, not letting their mental health deteriorate. South Lanarkshire Council plan to work on this charity by collecting rent from residents and provide intensive support. Homelessness requires servant leadership, and South Lanarkshire Council have shown the traits of servant leadership through this collaboration with Social Bite. The offering of intensive support shows it's not just a housing village, it's aimed to give homelessness people so much support, putting them at the forefront of South Lanarkshire's minds. Servant leadership has its strengths and weaknesses. Strengths include servant leadership takes the holistic approach, meaning they look at the whole picture rather than just specific things. They improve things like team commitment, team level outcomes, and job satisfaction and performance. They create a positive impact on these things. Servant leadership treats people in an ethical way by helping them develop on personal growth. Weaknesses are it takes time to create servant leadership as it requires leaders to build a strong emotional relationship with followers. Servant leadership can also lose the purpose of the organisation if they get too focused on personal growth that is not reliant on the organisation. If servant leaders show too much emotion, it might come across as them being overprotective, causing followers to rely on them and discourage them from taking their own initiatives when dealing with problems.
South Lanarkshire Council provides support to individuals through the First Stop provision, which provides access to temporary accommodation for those in an emergency. The Council also provides support to those who need to make a homeless application. South Lanarkshire Council also provides support to those in need through referral to several different programmes. Examples of these programmes include Salvation Army provides help to those who require a higher level of help for housing first cases. Blue Triangle provides additional support to those who need help to assist tenancy. Right There provides intensive support for those in need for additional help to maintain tenancy. South Lanarkshire Council can also provide supported accommodation to those with higher support needs, giving them the foundation they need to move on to a more permanent location. South Lanarkshire Council provide care inspectorates to ensure temporary accommodation is to the required level of standard for those in need. Strengths and weaknesses of transformational leaders. Strengths. Transformational leaders elevate people from low levels of need, focus on survival to a higher level. They may also motivate followers to transcend their own interests for some other collective purpose. Transformational leaders possess traits that show themselves as being trustworthy, admirable, loyal, and are therefore respected by their followers. Weaknesses. Transformational leaders share the traits of a different type of transformational leader. These traits can be harmful to individuals who can become reliant or fearful of their leader. Another weakness of a transformational leader is there is potential for decision to be made irrationally. Also, the leader may be self-serving rather than other-directed, meaning the leader may blame external factors for failure rather than take accountability. Higher level of emotional involvement can also cause burnout among individuals.
South Lanarkshire Council does not follow an autocratic leadership style, as autocratic leadership is where a leader's central authority is strong, decisions are taken without question, and people are told how to do it rather than what to do. This does not reflect how the council operates, especially in terms of homelessness, as the council must understand the complex needs of homelessness. The council rely largely on the public's opinion and involvement, as well as their long-term planning. They also rely on the input from their staff and partners in order to reach their goals. If the council adopted an autocratic leadership approach to provide their services, studies by Basin Base show that it could lead to low staff morale and poor decision making, ultimately reducing the effectiveness of homelessness.
One recommendation on how South Lanarkshire Council could tackle the increasing rates of homelessness is to provide mediation sessions for families in conflict. This would be beneficial as 5,000 youths claim to be homeless per year due to family conflicts resulting in them being kicked out of their homes. 1/5 of Scottish youths experience such intense conflicts at home that they think about leaving without somewhere to go at least once a month, a national study has revealed.
Following on from previous points made about support programmes, we think South Lanarkshire Council should analyse their current data on how many people are in temporary accommodation currently and use the data to see who could be put forward for a new scheme which helps people to rent a house privately. This new scheme allows people to take part in learning about how to manage bills, budgeting and the legal aspects that come with renting a house. If they complete this programme, they will get a certificate to verify this and a loan to help towards a deposit on a house. This will allow people to get out of temporary accommodation and be prioritised on the waiting list for a private rented house through the council.
Another recommendation is that South Lanarkshire Council invest into a hotel for homelessness people. The UK government have done something similar by allowing asylum seekers to live in a hotel. This cost the government around £5.77 million. South Lanarkshire Council could use a hotel to house homelessness people and aim to tackle the homelessness crisis.
We suggest that South Lanarkshire Council adopted an adaptive leadership style, as Grimani 2025 suggests that adaptive leadership is a dynamic framework which leaders thrive in a rapidly changing environment by emphasising flexibility, collaboration and innovation. If South Lanarkshire Council utilise adaptive leadership, it will allow them to deal with homelessness more flexibly rather than relying on one strategy fits all. Homelessness is a complex issue which cannot be solved using traditional methods. This style would force South Lanarkshire Council to adjust their systems to be more responsive in terms of homelessness and long-term goals.